This is Father Louis Scurdy with episode 2 of my interview with Dominick Stampone, mayor of HALEDON, New Jersey. Dominick, thank you again for having us.
Thank you.
It's always wonderful to see a local person, a student of William Patterson, who is my guest today, who has really come up in the world in the stages of your career and education. And we haven't talked about your family, so we'll get that later.
Absolutely.
Although I love the stories you told Teresa about your parents growing up. Let's start with that, only because it's local.
Sure.
And then we'll talk about your interest in politics.
Okay.
Parents are Italian born.
Yes.
And 3 children.
Yes.
And take it from there.
Sure. So I'm the son of Italian immigrants. My parents are, they came to the U.S. in the 60s, actually separately. They met here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
which is why I'm half Sicilian and half Abruzzese.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And we've had
that's
discussions.
exactly my background.
We've had that discussion, and I'm hoping at some point. I'm not sure if your crew can add subtitles, but I'm hoping we can do some of our interview in Italian.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be a treat
interesting.
for some of your viewers? Maybe not all of them.
Okay.
But some of them.
We'll do.
But I am
maybe
the
till
son.
the end of this episode. Go ahead.
I am the son of Italian immigrants. My father Angelo and my mother Margarita. And I think that really has contributed to my worldview and also the work I do today. So I credit them. I know that people generalize about immigrants having a work ethic and really going out of their way to improve their children's lives. But frankly, that's exactly what my parents did. They're 2 of the hardest working people I know. They're in their mid-70s. They still work. They refuse to stop working. They refuse to take vacations. Yeah, and I'm happy to report I'm not them. I do take the occasional vacation, but they're a wonderful influence on me and my brother and my sister. I do have 3 beautiful children with my wife Amy, who is also a local product. She's from Prospect Park.
Wow.
And my kids are all in grammar school still. They actually attend school right up the road at Immaculate Heart of Mary in Wayne.
Right.
And we're very excited for their progress. And
all 3 of them in grammar school.
Correct. Yeah.
Same school. That's
same
great.
school.
That's great.
6, 12, and 14. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Your parents, I'm interested.
Sure.
You're much more fluent than I am in Italian. When we spoke with Teresa, a mutual friend of ours, who's been interviewed on the show, by the way,
Our own prima donna.
Yes, yeah, literally prima
She's
donna, opera star,
and prima donna. Yes.
That's Teresa Apolea, and you can go to the search bar if you want to find more about her at past episodes. You're very fluent in Italian.
Yes.
And they really encouraged that, I guess.
Well, they not only encouraged it, it really was just part of growing up. English is actually my second language.
That's fascinating.
And that's because my parents, as Italian immigrants, having had only a grammar school education, it wasn't really an issue of let's focus on English, or we'll only speak English in front of him. My parents did not speak English when they arrived, so my parents actually went through the trouble of getting a tutor for me in the summer before I started kindergarten.
Wow.
Fearing that I would not speak enough English. And little did they know that all children are sponges. I could probably spoken 4 languages if I was exposed to all 4 languages.
Right.
So yeah, I'm the first to go to, well, frankly, the first to graduate high school, college, and then law school. So, but again, even though my parents are not formally educated, they are incredibly clever and intelligent people. My father's a voracious reader. He has only a 6th grade education. But he reads everything. We bought him a tablet. He now reads all the Italian newspapers.
God bless him.
English newspapers on the tablet. And that yearning for knowledge and participation in the political process, that started early. I didn't realize that that was
notes
happening.
because you're so interesting.
That was happening around the dinner table. That was happening around the dinner table, and not even knowing that it was happening.
And where was that? What town?
As a kid,
What town was that?
Patterson.
Okay.
Then West Patterson, eventually HALEDON.
So they were talking about politics then.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And of course, as I look up, I see a picture of the Boda House.
Sure.
Why don't you tell our audience about that?
Sure. So it's kind of interesting that that my parents, very much interested in politics. My mother was a member of the old ILGW. She was a garment worker.
Yeah,
She worked in the factories in Paterson. I
And
remember
Paterson is called the Silk City.
called the Silk City for a reason, even though other textiles were also produced there.
Right.
And Father Lou, of course, you refer to the Paterson Silk Strike,
Right.
which is a somewhat of a misnomer. The workers were from Paterson Mills, but they actually organized and demonstrated here in Haledon at the Botto House, which still exists. It's now known as the American Labor Museum. So I have
And
this labor
just give
connection.
our audience an invitation to come see that.
Absolutely.
And location.
They should visit the Botto House, American Labor Museum, at 83 Norwood Street. Dr. Angelica Santamaro is the executive director. She would love to see you there. And it is a fascinating place. It's a 1908 building built by Italian immigrants. And it was the site of the 1913 Paterson Silk Strike. At times, there were upwards of 20,000 people assembled in front of the home.
I'm always fascinated when I see those pictures. How did they speak to that many people from that balcony?
That's a fascinating thing, actually. They used an early form of repeating through the crowd, which was actually replicated. It was actually replicated during the Occupy Wall Street demonstrations from several years ago, where a speaker would say their piece, and then there were relay speakers at the back of the crowd that would relay the information. That's exactly what they did.
Yes, right.
And even more fascinating, they did it in different languages.
Yeah. Wow.
So you had Italian speakers, of course, Carlo Tresca being the leader of one of the movement. So you had folks speaking in Italian, Hebrew. This is documented.
Yes.
German, and they would then relay the message to the folks in the back of the crowd. That all happened here in Haledon.
Oh, and little old Haledon. You got to come. The Botto House is interesting. I love history, walking through it, and the artifacts, so reminiscent of the period. Very, very informative
Absolutely.
guides too. Okay, let's get out of the Botto House, go back to Stampone House.
Okay.
And you grew up influenced by your parents' appreciation for politics, and then eventually the schools, and you wound up at William Patterson. You graduated William Patterson with a double degree, double major.
Yes.
And then?
Then I thought I would work in the newspaper industry. Worked for a couple of small weekly newspapers in Bergen County, and I wasn't sure, though, exactly where that would lead me. And at the same time, my younger brother, who's very close to me in age, was applying to law school. And we just decided to take the prep courses together. I said it would be an option. We both got into Seton Hall Law. And,
That's great.
And that's where I attended law school, right just down the highway in Newark.
That's fantastic. And where's he practicing?
My brother's practice is here in Haledon as well.
That's great.
We're just up the road. We practice together. And as I said, he's only a couple of years younger than me, so it's a great experience.
It's a family experience,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so you're involved with the legal system, became an attorney. What got you into politics?
Well, again, it's the type of endeavor that I don't think just happens, and I've come to learn that. So it really began with my parents' interest in just what's happening in the world, what's happening locally. Again, for my father, that would be an interest also in European politics, Italian politics. So I actually decided to run for a school board seat. I was actually still at William Patterson. So I was elected to the school board at my old high school, Manchester Regional High School, when I was a junior at William Patterson.
Wow.
I had just turned 21.
That's,
And that kind of got the ball rolling in having an interest in participating in civics and being involved.
wow.
So it's been almost, I just turned 45, so it's been about almost 25 years of actually being involved. Not always being in an elected position, but,
Yes.
but it's been that long.
That's great.
Yeah.
What year did you become mayor?
I was elected in 2006, so sworn in January 2007.
And what's been your experience? We're going to end now the segment on that. What's been your experience?
It has been a very satisfying and rewarding experience. I say that knowing that it was not necessarily always fun, and I don't expect it to be fun. That's not what this job is about. I do think it's a great responsibility. I take it very seriously, but there's nothing I find more satisfying than taking an issue or a problem that affects the well-being of people and finding a solution to that problem. That does not necessarily mean that it's always what will make that person or others happy.
Oh, politics, right?
Right. So
someone's always unhappy.
Someone's always unhappy, and I once said that to someone. I said, if you are making everyone happy, you're probably not only doing it wrong, you may be doing it illegally. So that is just, and that's just not what this job is.
Right.
So
right.
It's been a very rewarding experience. I think that I am really suited for the job for a lot of reasons, and as long as people want me here, I'll be here.
Okay, we'll pick that up in the next show.
Very good.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being
Father.
the guest today.
Thank you.
Once again, this has been Father Louis Scurdy with Mayor Dominick Stampone of HALEDON, New Jersey. Overview, his origins at home. See how influential the family dinner is. Eat with your family. Talk, and you'll grow up to be a wonderful person. Let me hear from you. Father Louis Scurdy, FR, Father Louis Scurdy at hotmail.com. God bless you.